Hello guys, Late here. So this video will be for low life lattice fire on higher budget. Now before we go into the setup, number one is the showcase that you see on the screen. This is on T16 Harbinger, and this is how I get level 100. And you also going to need the fracturing orbs if you want to craft the large classes jewel for this build. So this is a very nice farm that you can get level. Also, you're going to get the material that you need to upgrade the build. And on this showcase, I'm using Headhunter, so I'm pretty much just chill because I don't think you can die if you have a Headhunter here. If you do not have Headhunter, there is a Beyond debuff that's going to reduce your regen, and that's going to kill you. Or if you do something like, I don't know, tanking 5 Harbinger at the same time, that also can be dangerous. So do it in the moderations. But if you already have Headhunter, you're not going to die. I don't think you can die with Headhunter buff. Also at the end of the video, I also including a showcase for T17, and that is a Scarab farms and basically a rare monster farm. So the rare monster is pretty tanky and they have a lot of modifier. The problem that you're going to have on the T17 map is the map bosses. It's going to feel slow, but the map bosses does take a while to kill. But because we are fast on the mapping itself, the more rare monster you kill, the more hunter buff you get, the faster you're going to clean the maps. I think early on you can see it going to start pretty slow, but after I kill like the first and the second rare monsters, you pretty much just walk around and everything just die, and you basically try to collect as much hunter buff as possible, and that's going to help you kill the mob bosses a lot faster. So it's definitely can do T17, but you're going to feel slow on the map bosses because it does take a while because we do not have that much single target even with hunter buff. So with that said, let's move into the setup. So the first one is Ivory Tower, and on Ivory Tower the upgrade is on the implicits, and how you get this implicit is by using tailoring orbs. It's pretty expensive. I would suggest find one that already have the implicit. This is 8% increased explicit defense modifier magnitudes, and the next break point is 15%. I don't think you can find the 15% because it's pretty rare, and tailoring orbs is also pretty expensive. Even on a normal league, it's pretty hard to find. So I will suggest just go for the 8%. And that will increase the energy shield bonus that you get from reserving life from 30 to 32, and that's going to give you a lot of energy shield. And for the shield touch, I look for implicit like increase maximum life or increase maximum energy shield, or both. This one is not very expensive. This one is pretty cheap. And for the belt, Headhunter, for mapping, Headhunter is just the best belt to use. The buff going to increase your energy shield by a ton. I think I reach something like 60-70k if I get all the buff. And Headhunter price right now is pretty low. It's around 20 divine. It's probably going to keep going down because of the exile farms. Usually when there is a farm that's going to produce a lot of uniques, this kind of unique going to go down in price. So if you have a currency to buy this one, this is going to make your life a lot easier. And for the amulet, I'm still using Eye of the Great Wolf. There is one more amulet that you can go. I will talk about it in a little bit. That one is very expensive, but this one is attribute and global defense. So the difference between this one and the last video is I remove the regen life and I get something with global defense. This is the best stat combination for Eye of the Great Wolf. And for the ring, I'm still using Saffron Revelations. This thing gives a lot of regens, and I still need the regens. I still prefer to pretty tanky, so I'm still using this ring. And for the other rings, I recraft the ring. So this one is crafting using a recombinator. So this one have strength, have intelligence, and on the prefix it have life and maximum energy shield. And for the boots, it's still the same boots. Strength, intelligence, chaos resistance, and also some energy shield. Ideally you want life on the prefix, that's going to give you more ES, but I haven't recraft my boots, so I'm still using the same boots. And for the helmet, it's still using the same helmet. This one is also using recombinator. And the scepter, still using Dunkubriani. This will be a scepter till like the end of time. This is the best scepter for strength stacking for this build. And for the shield, this shield is pretty hard to craft. So I also craft this one with recombinator. And the reason why this is pretty hard to craft is because of this all maximum resistance. That mod is pretty hard to hit, and there is a way for you to not using the all maximum res, which basically you can try to find the jewel with maximum 2 fire res. That's going to do the job. So you can craft like any other suffix, for example like chaos resistance, that's also pretty nice, or look for something like intelligence, because I don't think you can roll strength on the energy shield basis. So learn how to use recombinator. That will help you craft this kind of items pretty easily, I will say, because normally it's going to be pretty hard to hit the all max res and maximum fire res. And for the flask, I changed the flask a little bit because I'm already using National Doctrine, so I'm not using Surfer Flask anymore. I'm using Ruby, Topaz and Sapphire that's going to give me a lot of resistance and also a lot of maximum resistance for cold and lightning, and that will help to mitigate that damage from that two elements. And Quicksilver for movement speed, and also Amethyst Flask for chaos resistance. So that's all about the gear. So for the passive tree, the first upgrade that you're going to see is this one over here, this last cluster's jewel. And this is the best example for this cluster jewel. It have ingress effect, which is ideally you want the ingress effect to be fracture. And then you want T1 maximum life, T1 strength, and T1 all attributes. Now, the way you craft this one, you need to fracture the ingress effect first. After you get the fractured ingress effect, you basically craft that using fossil. So you're using a 2-socket resonator, and you put in fundamental fossil, and you put in pristine fossil. So this is going to give you more attributes, and this one going to give you more life. You basically keep doing this until you get these 3 stats. Now there is a few options you can go for. For examples, my second last cluster over here. This is not the ideal mod because it doesn't have all attribute, it have intelligence. Now if you hit T1 intelligence, that one is usable. It's a little bit weaker than the all attribute, but it's still usable. And another option, this one is pretty rare to happen, but if it happens, sometimes you do not get the maximum life, but you get the maximum energy shield instead. If you get that one, you can use the energy shield. That is also fine. It's pretty close, but I think maximum life is the best mod. And because I opened a new cluster over here, I also have these 2 new jewel. Number 1 here, number 2 is here. And for this jewel, I'm looking for maximum fire resistance, maximum life, and fire damage over time multiplier. Now the maximum fire res is really important because I'm no longer take this 3 node over here, and this is going to keep my maximum fire resistance to 90%. Now if you want to avoid crafting all maximum res on your shield, you basically have to find another jewel like this, and you can replace it with this jewel over here. And this jewel is better for DPS because it have damage over time multiplier too. But if you need the maximum fire res, you can change this jewel into a something like this, which have 2 maximum fire resistance, and that's going to make your shield craft a lot easier. So that's for the jewel. There's some few options you can go for. And the pathing, I changed the pathing a little bit, so now it's now look like this. This is just more for point efficiency. Also, the new addition is this Watcher Eye. This Watcher Eye is the best that you can look for on the Watcher Eye. I mean, for the 2 mods. The first one is Malevolence. Damage over time multiplier for the Malevolence is a big DPS boost. And the second important stat is the energy shield recovery rate. When you're affected by discipline, this is going to give you a lot of regenerations. So for the Watcher Eyes, the best mod you can get is the damage over time multiplier with Malevolence, and also energy shield recovery rate by discipline. So that's for the Watcher Eye. And the next one is Little Pride. I basically buy a new Little Pride, and the reason why I moved the Little Pride here is this is a very common tech that Scion use, because Scion have an easy access to this 3 socket on the middle. So what this Unnatural Instinct do is it going to take all the small node without you have to allocate them. And because this small node is inside the radius of the Little Pride, this small node also gives strength. So you basically get some extra strength from this small node that basically overlap from Little Pride and Unnatural Instinct. So this small node over here, as you can see, it have +4 strength, all of them. So putting the Little Pride here and Unnatural Instinct here, this is going to give you more strength basically. And for the notable, I only have the 2 5% strength, and I would suggest just go for 2, because there is only 1 timeless jewel that give 3 increased strength. But that jewel is really expensive, so I would suggest just go for 2 5% strength. And the last thing is this 3 passive node. This is something you can change. I take this 3 node because I want more TPS. But for example, if you want more life, there's an option that you can take here. It's going to give you more life. It's almost 30k. And it also gives you this amount of regen because this one gives 1% regens. But if you want more regens, like a lot more regens, take this 3 node over here. And this 3 node over here give you around like 1000 energy shield per second. So this is a lot of regens. So if you want more regens, you can take this node. So that's about the passive tree. So all the POB will be on the descriptions. And as usual, if you guys have any questions, leave in the comment below. I will try my best to answer it. And I will leave you guys with the showcase. So thank you everyone for watching. I really appreciate it. And I will see you in the next video. Have a good day.